But I'm gonna prove to the world that Jake Paul's the real deal, and that's why I called out Conor McGregor initially. This is the road to McGregor at the end of the day.
All right, we're gonna go out to virtual questions, and let's go to that right now.
From USA Today, we have Josh Peter.
For Jake, you referred to Dana's $1 million bet. I just wonder how you felt about that. Where were you when you heard about it and you got a chance to talk to him?
I think it's great. Dana White doesn't talk about really anything besides the UFC, so it just goes to show how big of an event this is. And again, he is one of the many bird brain people out there who don't understand that Jake Paul is a real fighter. And, he's going to lose $1 million. And I challenged him along with Snoop Dogg to step it up and make it $2 million. Put your money where your mouth is. $1 million.
Dude, look, I agree with him that Dana White, if he addresses something that's not the UFC, it is a big event, but he really shouldn't insult his promoter, the guy who can make the Conor McGregor fight possible. That's just a pretty dumb tactic.
I agree.
Isn't that much to Dana White? I am so confident in my abilities, and it's free promo. So thank you, Dana.
What's next virtually?
Next up is fan-sided Jeremy Harigis.
Question for Jake. Jake, considering Ben's combat sports background, are you expecting a quantum leap in the level of competition that you've faced thus far?
No. I think he'll be easier to beat than Nate Robinson.
There's no way. Does he actually believe that?
I believe it.
You think Ben's gonna be easier than Nate Robinson?
Yes.
I disagree. There's no way a UFC fight is going to be easier than Nate Robinson. But we'll see.
Question to Ben.
Go ahead. Was there a question for Ben there? Or did we lose
Yes, Ben, question for you. Based on what you've seen of Jake in the ring so far, have you seen an amount of talent there that you consider him talented as a boxer?
Yeah, it's hard to say. His opponents were so bad that he could have pretty much done anything he wanted to and won the fight. So, I think TBD.
Next up is Michael Woods.
Guys, question first for Jake. Jake, I was impressed with especially your power against Nate Robinson. It strikes me that maybe you were a guy who was born with it. I saw you backing up and cracking the guy. Now, I don't know how that's going to work on Askern, who is a seasoned fight professional, but it led me to be thinking, how into this are you? Or do you have sort of a long-term plan? All right, I'm going to do this a year, 2 year, 5 years. Are you now a boxing lifer? What's the end game? How long do you want to do this, and where do you want to get to in boxing?
Yeah, great question. Definitely a boxing lifer. I'm addicted to this sport, and I will become the biggest prize fighter in boxing.
I give him 3 years and he's quitting.
Yep.
I agree. That. And thank you for the compliment. Have a ton of power. I didn't really even get to utilize it against Nate. He went down, and I only landed 8 punches, and he was knocked down 3 times, if that gives you any indication. And man, when I put those 10-ounce gloves on, those Grant gloves, shout out to Grant, best gloves in the game, whew, I love to crack, baby. And you know what's crazy? I love to get hit too. So I just love fighting in general. And again, this is the start of a burgeoning career, a burgeoning, amazing career. And I'm addicted to the sport. I love the sport. I want to bring more eyeballs to it. I love everything to do with it. I could see myself coaching my son one day.
Oh my God.
To be honest,
That's
okay. I don't know if it's gonna be 3 years. It might be longer, but I do know it's not a life commitment. Once this guy gets his first loss, he's gonna just I made money, whatever. Wrap up the gloves and it's over.
yeah, and people won't care about when he fights after he loses.
Yeah. I think by the time he retires, KSI is probably gonna also retire. At least that's what I think. I think it's only because KSI is not into boxing, so I think KSI would retire first and then Jake.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's gonna let you have kids?
Oh, that
Okay.
was amazing. That was an amazing line. That was
That
amazing.
was good. That was good. That was good.
That was good. You got like two lefts. Two lefts.
Thank you.
Next up is Kate.
Look, it's your dad.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Look, at
I've got two questions. First one is for Jake. Jake, celebrity boxing isn't anything new, but it's certainly enjoying a moment.
Hey, it's
What do
your
you think
dad
it is
calling
about
in.
yourself that's made it successful?
It's your dad calling in. Look,
That dude's still alive?
he's still alive, bro. I'm about to take him out.
Flip-flop, man.
Hey, he's still alive.
And just like that, Jake won the press conference. Sadly. God,
Is that his
Jorge-
actual dad?
No, that's Jorge Masvidal, the guy that knocked him out in 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's right. I couldn't really see him. Wow.
Just like that, he won the press conference. I'm not even gonna lie.
Don't worry, I'm gonna finish him off. Yeah, don't worry.
Tell him I like them flip-flops, man.
He said he likes your flip flops. That's my guy Masvidal, maker of Ben Askren. Jake Paul will be the finisher of Ben Askren. Does that bother you, by the way, that you got knocked out in 5 seconds?
Nah, it happens.
Doesn't bother you?
Not really.
It doesn't really happen, by the way. That's only happened once.
You got a record.
You literally have the record.
I
Yeah.
literally have the record,
You
yeah.
hold the record.
The record.
Yeah. 5 seconds.
Yes.
This isn't. It doesn't like haunt you at all. That like
It
you're
does not
probably the
bother
most
me, Jake.
embarrassing fighter in UFC history.
Jake, I know you have low self-esteem, but you
Yep.
don't need to project it onto me.
This clip doesn't bother you?
I've only seen it like a million times. Doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you?
No.
Are you sure?
Sure.
We do the same thing to you.
Yeah. I don't think you're allowed to throw knees in boxing, Jake.
Well, I'm gonna knock you out. It's the same thing.
Okay. Good luck.
Once again, Gabriel.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It was like Jake was being cringy. Ben made some clever jokes here and there. It felt evened out, but I should have
Yeah.
expected he was gonna talk about the knee because now Jake Paul is winning this by a mile when he called Jorge Masvidal. And you could tell Ben Askren did not want to say nothing bad about Jorge.
Yeah, that was a clever move.
All right, let's get another virtual question.
My first question is for Jake. Jake, celebrity boxing isn't anything new, but it's certainly enjoying a moment.
Wait,
Been in big fights before, UFC pay-per-views, won championships. How has the reception been for you for this fight? Because I'm assuming you're getting messages from a whole other fan base. What has it been like?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said earlier, I knew of Jake and Logan when I took the fight, but I didn't know like a whole lot about Logan or his little brother. And one of the things that I can't believe is
wait, did I go backwards?
in MMA, I was kind of the heel. I was kind of not liked that much.
Oh, never mind.
But Jake said in the pre-fight thing that it was 50 people wanted him to win, 50 people wanted him to lose, and I was shocked because it's got to be like 90-10. Pretty amazing how many people don't like you. I actually kind of find it pretty impressive, your ability to be disliked. That was a compliment.
All righty. Another virtual question on tap.
From the Courtside Soundoff podcast, I have Angel Ortega.
Yes, I have one question for Jake, and I want to ask Jake. You started with Deji, and now you're with Ben, and you also had Nate. I want to ask you, are you at this point bigger than the JJ fight? Is there any interest in still fighting KSI, or have you outgrown him and you're just over that?
Yeah, definitely outgrown him. There's interest. I think that's a fight that everyone wants to see, but at this point, it just wouldn't even be close. And I think, once he sees what I do to Ben, yeah, he's not gonna want to fight. And yeah, like even his coaches say it. They're like, hey, we're not letting KSI fight this kid right now. So his coaches know. His coaches know what will happen. KSI's ducking. And at the end of the day, it's like there's a lot bigger fights out there than JJ. So.
Look, besides the KSI ducking part, I know people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I actually agree. I just not with the Ben Askren's better than KSI part. But it's a weird narrative to think that Jay's gonna keep on fighting MMA, 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 and then backtrack back to a YouTuber. It feels like a weird storyline. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do it because he's only going up to actual fighters. So that's what I'm saying. This might just not happen.
exactly, like Jake. Okay, this is kind of weird. If you think about it, you went from Nate Robinson, world athlete, Ben Askren, MMA fighter, possibly Nate Diaz, top UFC fighter, to Conor McGregor, arguably the best striker in the world. Not saying those fights are gonna happen, but if he does take that ladder, it's gonna look so weird to backtrack and go back to YouTube division. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
oh well. I think I do agree that he's outgrowing the attention of KSI. KSI is not gonna be on his radar after all these MMA fights. I just
Yeah.
don't think
Like
he's
if he
ready.
if KSI fights like other like fighters, then it'll make more sense. But
But he has
I'm
to be
okay with
really
them not.
careful. KSI has
Yeah.
to be really careful with who he picks up because, like we said in the messages, I think that he would lose to a striker, so he needs to be careful with MMA picker he picks. But yeah, until he fights MMA fighters, KSI versus Jake is just not gonna like look as storytelling good. But I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, next.
And next we have from MMA Island, Donna Corby.
Hey guys, this question is for Jake, and I guess it applies a bit to Ben as well. Jake, when you look at your 3 fights, you were very fortunate when you fought Deji and when you fought Nate that the main event guys were willing to carry the slack with you, because your opponents really weren't in terms of the promotion of the fight. They were very quiet. They weren't, Deji doesn't really have much of a mainstream appeal. Nate obviously opted to just be quiet and try to portray himself as an athlete. We'll give Gibb the credit. He really did push that fight. Do you appreciate that Ben is willing to do the work to promote the fight, unlike maybe probably any of your opponents before? And Ben, are you enjoying that aspect of it?
I do actually appreciate it, and I part of me likes Ben. A part of me, thinks he's funny. I'll give him that. And
that's cool.
even his wife, like I was seeing her post stuff on Instagram, like she's funny. So I give him credit. And yeah, I think this fight has the most amount of hype going into it. He actually is putting out content and making some noise and talking some shit. So yeah, I do give credit to Ben there, and that's part of the reason we picked him is we knew there was going to be shit talk going into it.
I agree. That's why I think this fight's gonna be more numbers than the Nate Robinson fight, because Nate Robinson really didn't promote it. Jake was carrying that promo. Ben's actually helping with the promotion. That's why I think it's gonna do bigger numbers.
But it's not gonna do like 2 million.
No, but you gotta think about it. It's gonna be like they said. Jake Paul is 50% of the 2 million buys, so it just has to pass 1 million, which is not the
Don't make it well.
craziest.
I think it'll do like 900,000 something.
I mean, then you gotta think. You also have UFC champions, boxing champions, a musical performer under there. I think this fight can't, because the Nate Robinson fight, the undercard were some unknown names besides Bodak Jack and Vidal Riley. But yeah, this undercard looks pretty stacked. So I think it's gonna do more number and more noise than Nate Robinson versus Jake, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the things I appreciated about him earlier, I said it, is that, and his brother too, like, they have somehow convinced their fans that they're real fighters. It's tremendous. It's, it takes an act, it takes a show. He's done that. He says, pulling the fire truck, me eating rice and chicken and shit like that. Like, I'm in this for life. That's tremendous. Appreciate that, Jake.
Suck a dick.
One more. We have one more virtual question, and that's going to wrap things up for us. So go ahead.
From Full Reptile YouTube, James Mystery.
Hey guys, I got a question for each athlete. Jake, what do you have to say to all the professional fighters out there that don't like your quick success in combat sports without any substantial previous experience?
Haters will be haters. When there's a new young buck in the game coming up in ruffling feathers, they're going to be upset. But again, I'm just trying to bring more eyeballs to the sport, and I'm having fun doing it, and I'm just doing me. There's room for everyone to eat. Gary Vee once said, you can build your skyscraper in New York as high as you want without tumbling over someone else's skyscraper. So why are people mad that I'm successful? Build up your own skyscraper, and there's room for everyone to eat in this sport, trust me.
Meh, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. But do you think? Because I know we both said that we don't think Jake deserves the main card. Do you agree that he should deserve the hate for like being this popular in the fight game?
I think if he didn't have the personality, but I feel like because of his personality, I kind of understand why people don't like him.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that. That's true.
Fair enough. Ben, I saw on your Instagram the little scuffle between you and Jake before the press conference. I was wondering if you can fill me in on that. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how intimidated were you when Jake came in and flicked that tissue over your shoulder?
I think it was a mask, not a tissue, but yeah, I would say like a 1 to 1.1 somewhere in there. Again, if Jake and I met in an alley, I would just do a homicide if I wanted to. No big deal. I was most impressed by the fact that Jake, as a 24-year-old, is able to convince a whole team of grown men to do a cheer with him. That was tremendous.
It's called a team, a family, something that you don't have. Seems like you don't have really friends, and
Autocorrect. He meant yes, man.
Yep.
We're all in this together, and this means a lot to us. This means a lot to everyone. This is a part of history. Everyone on my team is a part of history, and we're a brotherhood. And quite literally, a bunch of 20-year-olds taking over the world. You sound stupid.
Yeah, I hope you do some more cheers on the way there.
Well, we know it's going to be serious on April 17th, gentlemen.
Go Bayside!
We appreciate both of you being here.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Ben. God damn.
There you go. Thank you both for being here. We're looking forward to April 17th.
Face
Should be a
off,
lot
bro.
of fun.
I need this face up. I need to see how tall it is.
All right, you take care. Ben, Jake, we'll see you guys on April 17th.
How many days?
22!
Now,
22! 22 till I end this motherfucker's career!
as they exit the stage, earlier in this press
was
conference,
weird.
we had a bit of news making by Askern.
Okay, wait. We should go back a little bit, right? Where they stand, because I never got to make this point real quick. Where is it at? Right. Okay, so
We appreciate both of you being
2,
here.
4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Ben.
all right.
Goddamn.
So
There you go.
I'm
Thank you both for
speaking-
being
so
here. We're looking forward to April 17th. Should be a lot of fun. All right, you take care. Ben, Jake,
He is
we'll see you
wearing
guys on
boots.
April
Though.
17th.
Okay, he's wearing boots.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm saying. He always wears things to make him look taller.
But Ben Askren here is 5'10". Ben Askren is 5'10". He doesn't lie about his height. No, there's no way Jake Paul is 6'1", or
No,
arguably 6 feet,
he's
but no
under.
way.
Yeah.
I think he's 5'11" and a half at the very most.
Yeah, he's not 6 foot.
But then I don't even think JJ's 6 foot, to be honest. But
Oh, he's not. He said himself he wasn't.
yes, and the face-off they did in the ring. I mean, KSI was wearing big sole shoes and Jake was using flat boxing shoes. But I just wanted to talk about his height, and yeah, that's all there is to say. You got anything to say? It's your.
Who do you think won this thing?
It's hard to say. Ben made real clever jokes. Jake Paul did make me laugh more. It's hard to explain. Jake Paul, I'm not calling Jake Paul funny. I hope no one translates. I mean, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say it. Jake Paul can sometimes be funny. I laughed at Jake Paul. I laughed at some jokes he said, but Ben Askren had those kind of jokes where you just go like, "Ooh, that stung." Like not funny, but you can tell that hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't think either of them won the conference overall, but I thought Ben came with some good counters to what Jake was saying.
Yeah, but I think everything went southwest for Ben as soon as Jorge Masvidal got pulled up on the phone. That's when I think
Yeah.
Jake won.
I wonder if that was planned because he said, "Who's gonna let you have a kid?" and then he FaceTimed him. So I don't know if that. I feel like that might have been planned.
I don't know if it was planned, but you can tell that Jake Paul was on his phone for a while during the press conference. He was probably texting Jorge, "Hey, bro, I'm in the press conference right now. You want to help me do the solid?"
Yeah.
That's funny.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I actually think it was entertaining. And Not a Jake Pauler, not that much of a KSI fan. I'm a boxing fan, but I do think Jake won this press conference. I don't know why I felt like I had
Yeah,
to
well,
clarify that I'm not a YouTube fan. I felt like I had to clarify that.
yeah, I feel like I kind of know what to expect when he like talks. It's gonna just be cringy, just him just swearing a lot. So it didn't really like surprise me. And I kind of knew he was gonna out trash talk Ben Askren, but he didn't he didn't rule over him when they were talking.
The recording has been going on for 39 minutes now.
Okay, that's a long time. So yeah, I'm not excited for this, and don't watch this. Bye.